Hey everybody, Riot Mort here, and PBE is up for Into the Arcane. We've got our first encounter here. Vander going to be guaranteeing us 3 gold augments, and since I haven't streamed yet, that means you get videos of me talking to myself while we play. So a lot of new stuff going on here. We've got the new item UI on the left side. Ooh, that means I might have to change my UI actually. Ooh, might have to do some updates here. We start off with a Powder on our board here. Powder, one of our exclusive Arcane characters, was pretty sweet. And okay, we get 2 Smeeches out of a box. Now, you know me, I'm a Gamba addict. I love my Fortune-like traits. I get 2 Smeeches. I am definitely thinking this is a Chem-Baron game. At the very least, if it's not a Chem-Baron game, Powder and Smeech are both ambushers, so I also have an ambusher angle. Getting a Smeech early. Smeech is an interesting champion that he'll jump around. He can kill targets really, really well. Uses things like Edge of Night, BT. You don't really need 2 defensive items though, but can do a lot of damage. Scales really well with that ambusher, so we'll have to see what we get here. But yeah, overall, pretty excited for you guys to play this set. I've played a lot of games before. Like I said, the set's in the best state we've ever had it in, so pretty familiar with the set at this point, which, you know, going into day 1 of PBE might be a little unfair, but you know, what are you gonna do? So you can see on the new item UI on the left side here, we have our remover, we have a rod so far. Now when you get a rod, you're not thinking Smeech. Smeech doesn't really work really well with the rod at all. He's not a Ginsu's user. So we get a glove, which JG is like eh. So we could have a crown guard if we wanted, but we'll see what we get here. And oh, okay, we get Chem-Baron crest. That makes me happy. I am definitely excited to get a Chem-Baron crest. So, it's not often you see this, by the way, but we're in the situation where we are going to be able to play Chem-Baron. And the fact that, you know, we're missing the Singed is a little sad, but what are you going to do? So, Chem-Baron is our new kind of like Fortune loss trait here. The more Chem-Baron you have, you're going to earn Shimmer. And you want to get that Shimmer up every 100. Kind of like Underground, you're going to get an Armory where you can either cash out or keep going. Now, if you're loss streaking, you're going to get a lot more Shimmer. So you want a loss streak, but unlike things like Fortune before, like let's say you go win-win, loss, or like so you loss, win, loss, that's okay. You can get back on track. It's not the end of the world. It doesn't change, you know, you don't need like a 12 loss streak specifically. You can have some interruptions. It's okay here. So in that regard, it's a little easier to play. But one of the big differences, oh, and there you can see Smeech actually got us a kill, which is going to preserve some health. Nice. One of the big differences, though, is that when you get your cash out, it's going to be these illegal Chem-Baron items that can only be played on Chem-Barons. So when you commit Chem-Baron, you're probably not pivoting. Now, you can go down all the way to 3 if you want, but the trait does actually give some decent power if you want to go vertical and stay in that vertical. So we'll see where we end up here. But overall, I really like games where I can start as a 3 Chem-Baron. We're not slamming items here because we want to make sure that we can try to get that loss streak going. Now, generally when you're playing Chem-Baron, there's really 2 ways to play it. 3 if you want to go crazy here. Reroll Renata, I'm not a big fan of. But the 2 you can play is you can go Smeech 3 and get some really good Smeech items. Or you can play around Silco. Now, Silco is a Dominator, which means Silco really likes things like Shojin, Red Buff, Nashers, things that get him attacking a lot. You don't really need full AP, you need to attack a lot to scale up with that Dominator trait. So, something to think about with your items. And we look at our items right now, and neither of those are looking particularly great. We don't have any tiers, we don't have a lot going on here, so mostly tank items probably. Can't hit 10 without selling the Smeech, and I do want Smeech 2 at some point to try to preserve some health. But you can see here right now with 3 Chem-Baron, we're getting 15 Shimmer per loss. But now the next loss is where you hit 3 loss. Your loss streak will actually turn like purple, and you'll start getting even more Shimmer. So, yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. And again, right now, kind of frustrating that we're not finding the Singed. We need Singed, Rennie, and Silco. You're not going to find a Savika at level 4. So, but yeah, overall just trying to lose here. We go up against a worth the wait Aurelia, so definitely expecting to lose this here. They have their entire board upgraded except that Loris. And again, if you're a fan of Arcane, I hope you're enjoying the fact that you've got all these Arcane-specific characters. They're pretty cool. If you haven't seen Arcane, should be fine. You know, you might not be as attached to these characters, but, you know, Loris has a shield. I think you can figure out where he goes. So, a lot of the characters do exactly what they look like, which is pretty neat. So, wasn't able to get any kills there, but yeah, you can see our loss streak now is purple. So we're going to be gaining more shimmer a turn. I believe it's 30 now, so pretty good. Ooh, there's a Rennie heading right for us. That's great. And it's got a tier, which is the item we want if we're going to go the Silco route, so not bad here. That's going to get us up to 4 Chem-Baron. Each step of Chem-Baron is going to get you more of that shimmer per turn, and then also more health as the trait powers up. So that's a good hit for us. We just need to find that Singed, and who knows, if we high roll, we can find a Silco, but, you know, that's pretty unlikely, so. Alright, so we find a Renata. We're at 4 here. Gonna go ahead and get to 20 here. Got that Renata pair. So 4 Chem-Baron. Now I believe is like 20 and 40? I can't remember off the top of my head. But either way, good stuff here. Rennie's one of my favorite tanks, by the way. A lot of people seem pretty confused on how to build her. A lot of people building her like BT and things like that because they see that big AD ratio. Don't do that. Rennie the chainsaw girl, she is a tank. You're going to want to build her gargoyles. Okay, so this is an example, by the way. We see on the other side, the other person is also playing Chem-Baron. And unfortunately, we have the Powder 2 here, so we're probably going to win. Now, with old fortune traits, you might think, oh no, we're screwed. We broke our loss streak. It's over. That's not the case here. We can still do well here, especially because we have the emblem, and we already have both of the 3 costs. If we can just find Singed, we could still get to like 300 or 400 pretty easily here, since we have so much Chem-Baron early. So this is definitely, it's not ideal, obviously, but like, it's not the end of the world. We don't have to freak out. We don't have to go, oh, there goes my game. So, all right. Looking on to the next thing here. Find a Steb. That's just a nice bruiser, so we can get 2 bruiser in at level 5 if we want. Gonna pre-level here. Since we can't hit 30, if we pre-level, who knows, maybe we high roll. Get a 4 cost, something like that. Getting an Elise would be good. Obviously getting a Silco would be great. We'd even take a Mundo, I suppose. So, all right. And we're at 80 shimmer here, which means next one when we win will be 20 shimmer. So that'll put us at our first shimmer armory choice here. So again, this fight should lose. We don't have any really upgraded units. There's a bug on PvE right now with the scrap shield VFX. That's what these squares are. It's just a scrap shield. It'll be fixed probably as soon as tomorrow. So who knows? By the time you watch this video, it might already be fixed. We don't get any kills here, but we do hit our 100 shimmer. So what's going to happen is we're going to see an armory, and we could take it and move on with our lives, or we can keep going. So, and generally what you're going to see is a couple illegal items, maybe some power-ups, maybe some champions. So here we could have a salvage revolver, which is like gain 10 AP every 5 seconds. It's like a mediocre item, and a 2-star Singed, which would have been nice. We kind of need the Singed. There's an argument for taking this here just to get that Singed and get 5 Chem-Baron, but we're going to pass on it. Now, the other thing to note about Chem-Baron is every time you pass, you've now passed 1 armory, and the trait gives you more health based on the number of armories passed. So every Chem-Baron on my team just got some bonus health. The bigger your Chem-Baron is, the more bonus health that's going to be. So it's one of those things that's interesting. The more you pass, the more health you have, so it's kind of harder to keep that loss streak. Looking at our items, we do have a Shojin, which is good. We also have a Gargoyle, which could give us some frontline. We could go Gunblade. We could also go JG. JG's not bad on Dominators, gonna let them crit. It's a good third item if you want to go like Shojin, Nashers, plus that. We find a Renata Glass. Now okay, there's a Silco. We found Silco before Singed. We high rolled. Now that I hit the Silco, it's a little bit of a desperate play here, but because we have the Silco, we can hit 6 Chem-Baron very easily. So I'm gonna roll and try to find the Singed. I'm actually gonna do that. I'm going to go ahead and find it. I'm going to go ahead and level up here. And 6 Chem-Baron on 3-1. This is massive. This is a big deal. You don't usually get 6 Chem-Baron this early. So now we're in high roll mode. We're going to place a few items here, but we have to be careful. We do still want to lose. But even if we win now, we're still getting like 30, I believe. Let's see, the 30 or 40. I think it's 30, which isn't a ton here. We'll see in a second. We managed to get a couple kills here. Silco gets a cast. I think that's going to be it. Oh, nope. Okay. Not bad. Yeah, so 30 shimmer per turn. So you can see the difference between 4 was 20 and you know, 6 is only 30 when you're winning. But when you're losing, it's going to be 80 a turn here. So we get our next augment here. None of these are really exciting me right now. So we're going to take Pyromaniac. That's going to give us a red buff, which, as I mentioned, is very good for Silco. And this makes the red buff burn even more, so that's pretty solid. We do find an Elise that's going to give us 2 Bruiser, better in the long term since we're not going to be playing around Ambusher. So this Silco now, we've got 2 really good items here. We don't have Dominator, so we won't be that strong. But again, we're trying to lose here because now if we lose with 6 Chembaron, we're going to get 80 Shimmer, which is massive. That's almost a full Armory every loss here. And we've got 70 health, so we've got time. So this is a big deal. We might be able to hit something like 500. Now, if you're wondering, the biggest one is 800. If you can get to 800, there's a surprise for you. Don't think we're going to get 800 since we had that loss earlier. And really, to do that, you almost want like a Wandering Trainer into Emblem kind of game. But even that's pretty tough. Little PvE lag there. Sorry about that. This fight's starting to worry me here. We really don't want to break our loss streak again. That'd be really bad. Okay, that made me pretty nervous, but thankfully... Uh-oh. Uh-oh. No, 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 no. Maddie, you got me? Whew. Okay, actually, that ended up being perfect, but man, that was nerve-wracking. So yeah, you can see again, our loss streak goes purple, and now we're going to be getting that 80 per loss, which is a big deal. All right, so what's our second armory look like here? A Virulent Virus, 10 gold basically, but nah, we're gonna keep going. You can see we're kind of poor. I'm gonna use the item remover to go ahead and like take off the red buff right now. We didn't really want to get, we don't want our games to be that close. That was good, but like, you know. The other thing we can do here is we're probably not gonna be playing around Smeech. This is really, since we hit that Silco early, we're just gonna play around Silco. So we can probably just sell the Smeech for Econ if we want. There's a Gargoyle Stone Plate that we can build here. On the other side, that is a 3-star Aurelia. So I'm not too worried about winning this fight. But again, every armory we're passing now is actually a big chunk of health. I believe it's like 80 health for the team at 6 Chembaron. Oh no, 6, it's I think it's like 100 health. So we're gonna actually be getting a decent amount of health as we go here from our trait. So we do have to be careful. But again, 80 is going to be really nice here. So you can start to do the math, by the way, if you really want to plan this out. It's like, this loss is going to be 290. That'll be at 4 loss. And then it'll be 370, 450, 510. And so like 500 might be a good one to take, because you're going to be at like 510 there. So we get first pick on items here. There's nothing crazy to pick. We can take another tier, build another Shojin. Shojin Red's not bad for Silco. But again, we're not really slamming items anyway. So yeah, if we can make it to 500, that'd be pretty good. This is definitely the situation you want to be in, though. It'd be nice if we had a little more health, but 55 at 3.5 is not the worst. So yeah, again, 290, 370, 450. Oh no, sorry, I did the math wrong. 290, 370, 450, 530, 610. So we can actually break at 600 here. If we can just lose 4 more, we can hit 600. Now 600 is where you start to hit like the auto wins part. If you can hit 600 or 700, you're probably going to get a first place. So definitely what we want to aim for here. So the fact if we can go 4 losses into 610, that's going to be big. That's going to be really, really, really big. And again, 4 losses even if we like really lose badly, that should put us at like 15. So again, really good spot here. Now you can see 125 health for every armory passed right now. We have 250 health. So I'm gonna go ahead and slam the red buff, try to get 1 or 2 more kills here. Okay. Up against those firelights, you see them dashing around and healing, which is pretty cool. But yeah, we just lost 10 health. If we lose 10 more, that'll be 35. Okay, so here's another armory. You can see here, we start to see the 2 items, Unleash Toxins 2. The way the illegal items work is there's a 1, which is the equivalent of a full item, give or take. There's the 2, which is like a little less than a Radiant item. So they're really good. They're like better than an artifact, but a little worse than a Radiant. And then there's the perfected items. The perfected items are like, what if you combined 2 Radiants into 1 item? The perfecteds are like nutty amounts of power. If you can get to a perfected item, you're feeling good. And you'll see later, some of those perfected items are a little crazy. From what I've seen on PvE, there's also a little more balance work to do on those perfected items. I know there's one in particular that's like really strong and one that's a little weak. So still some work to do there. Okay, we really don't want to win this. Winning this would be very bad. And thankfully, oh, nice. Lose by 2. That was great. That's about as good as you can get. So that's going to put us at 450. 2 more losses here. 2 more losses at 38 health. Now, this is, again, a little scary because if we do this wrong, we could be as low as 10. So it's a little risky, but there you go. Okay, so 2 2s and a 1. Decent amount of power. Now, if you're somebody who's new to the trait and you're like, ooh, I don't really know how to play this trait, one of the nice things about those illegal items is if you mouse over them, it'll actually say suggested user, like, you know, Rennie and Singed. And so if you're in a hurry and you don't want to read, just read who it says to put it on them, and you should be good to go. Should help you play the trait if you're not that familiar with it. So again, our Silco items are looking pretty good here. We do get the 2-star Rennie, which is nice, but now that 2-star Rennie in particular, we do have to be careful because we don't want to win these fights. So, a few too many rods also here. We see our gargoyle, yeah, way too many rods actually. This is pretty bad. And again, we need to lose 2 more fights. So I really don't want to slam the gargoyle on Rennie here. That might make us too strong. Are we going to do it? Okay, we're going to risk it. This is really, really risky. Hopefully the other person's stronger. Oh, this is... I don't like this. The good news is they have that Cassiopeia too. That's going to be pretty strong. But I'm a little worried this Rennie is going to be really good. But, oh god. Their Smeech is also doing good work. They get through my Rennie, so we still have to get through theirs. This is either going to be very good for us or very bad for us. And it looks like we got on the very good side. The Burn's doing good work here. If this Rennie could die... Oh, nice! Okay. Okay, so now we're at 500. And like I said, 500, you can be really happy with 500 here. But we know we're at 6 already. 1 more loss here. If we're going to say Chem-Baron, Little Buddies is great here because we're still going to run like the Singed, the Renata. So you can see here, we got a perfected item here and a 2. 500, you get that perfected item, you'll be really strong. Like I said, it's like a double Radiant. It's really good. So 500 would have been solid. But 1 more loss, and we can hit 600, which is where I think things get really nutty. So I'm actually going to remove the items off the Silco just to make sure that, like, there's no way we win this. Because if, man, winning here would be really bad. That would put us at 560. And then we'd have to win 2 more fights at 28 health before we could even cash out. So we really do not want to win here. Winning would be disastrous. As long as we don't win this, we should be good to go. And it's looking... The only thing that worries me is their carry is a Maddie, which is not that good in the late game. But they got through, and we again, removing the items here was really good. I think Silco actually would have won with the double Shojin Red. And we didn't build much front line, so here we go. It is a kind of a bad loss, though. 6-unit loss is going to put us down to 14. That's half our health. So we're not going 690. We have to lose 2 more to hit 700. So, okay, 2 perfected items, 55 gold, and a remover. So the perfected items here, you can see it says Rennie and Singed. We're going to put that on Rennie. And this one is good for Silco. These items are nutty. We're going to level up. Hopefully get a little more frontline in. We can throw that in for 2 Sentinel real quick. We've got Dominator in, which is good. Especially now with these items, like, we are sitting pretty. So Dominator, like I said, gives you AP every time you cast. And our perfected item on Silco is really nuts. So let me break these down for you. First, watch Rennie. When this hits 15 stacks, all of a sudden, she's going to be doing true damage to the whole enemy board. Now, this number is probably going to get nerfed, but you can see that is a ton of true damage. So pretty wild here. And again, normally you're lucky to get 1 perfected item. We got 2. So our Rennie is going to be incredibly tanky and providing a bunch of true damage. Our Silco perfected item gives 15 mana per auto. You heard that right. That's like 3 Shojins. 15 mana per auto. And every time you cast, it's going to send a wave forward, like a Nami wave, that stuns. So we've got a ton of CC, ton of power here. This is, we've cashed out. We did it. Like, this is where you're pretty happy. We're looking at that frying pan, but we don't really need it. What we actually need is a belt for our Rennie. Instead, we're going to take a rod for some reason. I think I was trying to 2-star the Elise, which, like, okay, fine. Now, one of the things we could talk about here is the fact that we have this Rennie now with this perfected item. She's probably not going to die. Which means, do I really need Elise? I actually could use Elise as a secondary carry if I wanted by using her form swapper ability and having her switch around. Alawi's going to be a better Sentinel. That's going to be good. Just slam a death cap on this Ziggs. But again, like, Ziggs 1, kind of a waste. This is just a minor bug. It'll get fixed. So we're going to remove those. We're going to put them on Renata for now. So again, we got these 2 perfected items, we got a ton of gold, and we passed 5 armories. So our trait is giving us 625 health. A 6-piece trait giving you 625 health, not bad either, right? You can see this Rennie just has a ton of health. But yeah, watch the Singed, or the Silco. Purple wave, purple wave. That Jinx has not moved. And then there comes the true damage from the other one. 2 perfected items. I could probably AFK at this point. With 2 perfected items, you're feeling really good. So definitely had a high one. 600, I'll be honest with you, this game was the highest I had ever hit personally. Even internally testing, I'd only hit 500. All right, we come to the anomaly round. So we're going to look for a buff here. I don't really like the mono one. We don't have a ton of traits active. I don't need attack speed, really. Especially with no one close. Giant size. We're just going to make our Rennie get 1,000 more health. This is a nice, simple choice. But just the fact that, again, we have that perfected item on her, less likely something goes wrong and for her to die. So it's just nice and easy. That's a big Rennie. So if this Rennie somehow dies, we've still got the Silco and everything else. So yeah, looking pretty. And now we're working our way to 9. So I'll try to make this video not boring for the rest of it, because what we're going to watch is this perfected item kind of melt the enemy team. Like I said, right now, if you watch the true damage this game, it's going to be pretty high. We'll probably actually have to cut it as much as in half. But even if you ignore that, it's like still every 4 seconds, hit the entire enemy board for a bunch of true damage. Pretty good. And yeah, you can see here it's 75 armor and MR, plus another 10 armor and MR per stack. Like, this Rennie is so tanky. And again, not to mention the Silco here, casting this purple wave over and over, stunning everything. So it's not like they could move to do any damage anyway. We have broken the law. We have gotten all these illegal items. This is gonna be a really good first tuber for the set. How many more? Place your bets. How many more Chem-Baron games will I post in the life of this set? Because the trade's pretty fun. All right, so here's an interesting one, by the way. Now that we're winning still, we're gonna keep seeing armories. We're gonna keep seeing stuff. You can take the items and get even stronger. But remember, every armory you pass is more health. So by passing there, we just got our team another 125 bonus health. So yes, despite all the insanity that we've done this game, we're going to scale even more. So pretty wild. It is still only, I believe, 30 a win, so it does take a while per turn. But 30 a win is still, you know, every 4 stages, gain some bonus health. We'll take it. We did get a belt, which is nice. That's going to be a Warmogs here. And yeah, like I said, now you can take Elise, and so instead of using her as a frontliner CC, we can use her as a backline secondary carry, which is pretty nice. We can give Alawi the Chem Tank item for a little extra power. I've already got anti-heal, but I don't have Shred, so let's get a Spark going. And yeah, looking good. Boom, 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 boom. And yes, you can play both Elises if you really wanted. But again, at this point, we're kind of styling on the lobby. This Rennie, perfected items, the Silco. Oh, look, your Kog'Maw's stunned. Oh, look, now it's taking true damage. Oh, look, they're dead. Oh, this Ashe finisher is pretty cool, but it's not as cool as all the new Arcane stuff. So, all right. How many rounds will it take me to wipe the board with my illegal items? Let's find out. Now, I will say the play against here can be a little frustrating. If you look, you know, let's say you start scouting and you see somebody who has 2 perfected items. This is the point in the game where you're sort of going, I just need to not matchmake against them, because if I hit them, I'm going to be very sad. So, we find a Silco. Looking for one more Silco here. I'm kind of just putting in our best Dominator to make sure we have Dominator active. Garen can go in here. Garen gives bonus health. He's an emissary. He's going to be our 1 emissary. And he gives bonus health to the people standing next to him. So here, Remy, have another, you know, 100 health or so. Not that you need it. Oh, that purple wave. TF is stunned. TF is stunned. That one misses, but either way, I mean, again, these fights are not close. So, once you reach that 600 cash out, feeling pretty good. And that's the thing, it's funny, it's gonna make it look like Elise is doing nothing, because compared to these two, Elise is doing nothing, but, oh, and we did find a Savika here, so we can actually take out the Garen, put in the Savika for 7 Chembaron, which you might be wondering, well, what's the point? Well, the point is, you're going to get even more health. So watch the health bars. Boom. That is even more health. We are in a very, very good spot. Really, the only thing we can do at this point is, like, sure, Mordekaiser for Mundo. Okay. I don't even know why I'm rolling at this point. We're pretty strong. Chem-Baron, at this point, we've passed 6 armories, 6 times 180. So... 1,080 health from our trait on top of the illegal items. So, whee! And again, not particularly close. So, yeah. Breaking the law, breaking the law. I would not expect to lose a fight here unless somebody hits a 3-star 4 or 5 cost. And even then, the fact that, like, these illegal items are this strong, I don't know that we lose that. So, we're on the carousel here. Items barely matter. Something for Alawi. Or if we wanted to start building a 3rd, yeah, we can just literally take the Alawi for Alawi 2. Okay. And yeah, if you look at our traits, we're basically 7 Chem-Baron, great. 2 Bruiser gives your team 100 health, great. 2 Sentinel gives your team 12 armor and MR, great. And then Dominator to make sure Silco scales. Again, barely matters, but yeah. Whew, I don't know. Enjoy the ride. But yeah, like I said, hopefully you're enjoying the set. Ooh, someone just hit Rennie 3 despite us having them. Crazy. Pretty crazy. We do have 6 Elises. If we wanted to style and get Elise 3, that'd be cool. But I will say the form swappers in particular are pretty hard to 3-star. Once people figure out the set, you're going to see Elise get bought a lot, Alawi get bought a lot, Swain get bought a lot. Swain is like the hardest unit to 3-star. Because once people realize that like 2 Sork plus 2 Conqueror plus 2 Form Swapper, all very, very good stuff. So, whew. I mean, at least did half of Silco's damage, which with an illegal item isn't, you know, too bad. So, seems good. Man, this set's fun. Man, I want to make jokes about Rennie, but if you haven't seen Arcane, you won't get them, and it'll be spoilers. All right, so again, we see another Armory here. We could take some light items to be even stronger, or we pass and take another 180 bonus health. We're going to go ahead and pass. We find a Silco, 20 gold here. And realistically, if we ever got to a point where like we were struggling to kill things, going 4 or 6 Dominator would actually end up being better. But again, you have 7 Chem-Baron, you have these 2 illegal items. We're not really pivoting, but like Renata and Smeech could come out for 2 more Dominators. Totally a viable thing we could do if we really felt like it. But again, this Rennie, geez, like 700 true damage. Yeah, but again, even if you cut that in half, which is what I'll probably do, it's still, you know, a massive amount of true damage to the team. So, all right. Like I said, hopefully this isn't too anticlimactic, but this is what Chem-Baron does. They lost streak, they hit that big shimmer, and then they power up, and no one can stop them. So, poor Silco's back there, just like clapping away. Boom. Got a Mordekaiser. Okay. Mordekaiser, if you can get like a 6 Dominator Mordekaiser going, dude's a beast. Most of the 5 costs are pretty strong right now. I think LeBlanc's like a tiny weak. But most, like Rumble's really, really good. Savika's good. And then I've definitely got to get a Malzahar game on the YouTube channel as quick as possible, right? Right? Whew. Didn't even reach max stacks. Poor Rennie. All right, 4 players left. We have a Shojin or a Gunblade or Quicksilver. All right, Quicksilver Savika. Sure, why not? Gonna roll down, see if we can hit. Okay, 2-star Mordekaiser. Sure. If you want to get fancy, you could either remove the stuff off Alawi onto Mordekaiser. Got a Silco. I love that I still have Singed 1, by the way. Alright, this person is Firefly. They got a Rumble 2, Twitch, Jinx 2 even, but don't think that's going to matter. They do have the Edge of Night to drop the aggro, which you can see there, and then there's the rocket, but nope. I like how the rocket exploded right as they died. Not quite enough damage on your Jinx to kill my board there. So, all right, if we're lucky, this could be a double kill. So, again, first game of Into the Arcane. I showed you what's probably going to be my favorite trait. Hopefully videos for you all week this week where I talk to myself. Hopefully a little less of a stomp in future videos, but, you know, what are you going to do? So, we're rolling down. We don't really hit any Silcos or Elises, sadly. So, no crazy 3-stars, but again, I mean, 600 cash out, I'm gonna be pretty happy with that. So, all right, this person has Jinx 2, Savika 2, Elise 2, but again, that true damage, their Jinx is already at half health, their Jinx is already almost dead, and they're dead. Easy. You could say my board was illegal. And sure enough, double kill. So there you go. Chem-Baron, 600. We'll see you tomorrow. Take it easy.